Good evening, everyone. We are Group 2, consisting of my teammates Rudrav Kumar Behra, Rajiv Pramanik, and myself Rishabh Prasad. Today, we'll be presenting our information systems project, which is on the topic of application of game theory simulation through web development and cybersecurity. This project was under Professor Sayak Roy Chaudhary. So, we move on to the next slide. So, in today's world, we know the importance of cybersecurity and the threats that are posed in the cyber world. Next, we move on to a brief aspect about game theory. What is game theory? So basically, it's a mathematical tool which helps us in analyzing situations, making decisions, making strategic decisions, and getting outcomes out of certain situations. So we move on. So there are these days there are a lot of cybersecurity issues being faced, due to the technological boom that we are having, and a lot of people getting to misuse these technological aspects. So due to these changes, people are facing a lot of challenges in day-to-day life in order to protect their privacy and their data. Next one, we move on to the game theory applications. So, game theory is a vast topic which could be used to model certain kind of behavior and, predicting certain type of specialized attacks or any kind of certain attacks. So, by analyzing situations and strategy interactions, we could come to a particular output. Like for this instance, we have used a simultaneous 1v1 game where we've tried to emulate in how in such an attack situation a defender would try to react through a given set of situations. So next on we move to strategic defense framework, which we will cover in later part of our presentation. So coming to the conclusion part is that applying game theory to cybersecurity is a very good initiative as it provides a very strategic advantages in devising new strategies against attackers and providing us with a new perspective in any kind of situation. So next one we come on to the entire process and what contributions each of us teammates made. So during our learning phase, we learned through the web development fundamentals like HTML, CSS, JavaScript. We learned about game theory basics, which involved reading through a lot of journals, going through a lot of games, and deciding which models to use in our which in our website, and the usage of basically cybersecurity applications, right? So how do attacks work? What are the ways to prevent an attack? What are the ways that defenders basically take to thwart the attack on a very much initial level, a medium level, or a very later stage? Coming to the technical skills, we used Git version control. We learned how to use GitHub and contribute our code together on GitHub. Next, we come to the individual game design and development. So, the game design and aesthetics, like for example, the front end part and basically the UI and UX of how the game would look, and a bit also on the front end part was contributed by me. I learned HTML, CSS, JavaScript for this task. Also contributed through like made the UI on Figma as well. And mostly on the front end part, Rajdeep built the front end part. And if we come to the back end development, Ruprav handled the the database and the entire back end process. Now coming to the concurrent collaboration of the entire teammates. So each team member through their contribution, uh, we integrated the our contributions on a like a single platform to get the game as we have it today. Um, so next one we move what was the problem and the solution process basically. So we learned how cybersecurity works and how it can be how we could learn about it and use it to adapt to avoid basically malicious attacks. But we also learned about how to use different games to serve this purpose. And uh, going further, the same thing, technology and framework adopted the same thing. We learned HTML, JavaScript. We used an API, which was the Open Trivia base. In JavaScript, particularly, we learned Socket.io, which is used for a server-client interaction. And it was pretty difficult for us to learn, but in the end, we finally did it. Uh, then the means of collaboration was basically each contributing to the project through GitHub. And if we look at the future scope of the project, so in the future we'll be working on a game which basically works on the principle of Q learning. So we'll talk about Q learning in a bit more detail afterwards. Then we come on to what we learned and what was our skill improvement. So these are the topics we learned: game theory, web development, client server interaction, which was basically through Socket.io, web sockets, GitHub contributions, how to push codes on GitHub, teamwork obviously, and we together we did a lot of collaboration and brainstorming. So if we come to the limitations of a project, it has been made with a lot of elementary skills, not very professional skills are required, are used basically to make this project. We do not, as in the beginning, we do not had much vast knowledge in game theory. I believe till date we do not have such vast knowledge in game theory. Next, media query was not handled through our project. So basically, this project is made just on a personal computer level. We can't implement it on a mobile phone or something. We haven't made the website very reactive. And the final point is that we haven't hosted our website online. It is being hosted on a local server. So this is the basic flow chart for how the game flows or how the user interaction flows throughout the game. Uh, this would be better explained when I walk you through the entire game and how it works in different processes. So now here we come to our main game that we had made. So first we move on to the backend part where we'll start the server. So as you can see over here, the server has been started, and you can see two users have been connected in the server. That means since I have opened two of my tabs over here, so that means two users are being connected. So let's just say we have to start the game. So before that, we have to create a room ID. Let's just say I'm playing with my friend Rupert. So I create a room with ID room one, and I join the room. Similarly, uh, Ruprab there will join the room with the same ID, and he also joins the room. So now in the backend part, we can see since both the user IDs come in a single set, that means that the both users have been connected in the same server. Now each of us will choose their own role, what we have to play. So let's just say I'll take the attacker role and Ruprab takes the defender role. So you can see that we each get five options. So these represent the type of methods the attackers can use to attack or the defenders can use to defend an attack. So you can see each option has their own particular cost. Some have high cost, some have low cost. So basically, the cost determines the chances of your win percentage increase. Like if the cost is high, your win percent chance of winning would be more, but at the same time, it would also pose a greater threat of failure. So let's just say कि in attacker I am a pretty confident fellow and I choose, for example, DDoS attack and which costs 30 points. I choose this, and you can see that I've chosen option 4, and we can move on to the next part. Here, Ruprav, let's say कि Ruprav is not that confident and he wants to go with the easier option. So he chooses the one with the cost 10, like regular security audits, and we move on to the next part of the game. One additional feature that I would like to point is that we also have a chat room by which the players can communicate with themselves. Let's say I send a message hi over here. So in Ruprav's page, the message hi would be displayed. And let's say ki I write what's up. So I send the message, and in my page I'll get the message. So during the game, the players are allowed to chat with each other. Now we come on to the main part of the game, which is the quiz. So in order to emulate a particular attacking or defending scenario, we've provided the users with an equal playing field where they get to choose a subject of their knowledge and their expertise, to get a better score to increase their win percentage chance. Let's just say I'll choose sports, and Ruprab chooses mythology. So I choose sports and I start the quiz. So you can see that there are a lot of questions, and you would also realize that the difficulty of the questions is also higher because I had chosen an option with a higher cost. So this comes with the risk that you might be getting questions with such difficulties that you won't be able to answer. So you have to choose the option optimally such that you would be able to answer more questions and in a less time. Although the factor of time we haven't considered yet. Now, Rupra will start the quiz. So we see that the questions are lesser in number, and also they are pretty easier as compared to my questions. So both players will take their time to answer the questions. Uh, let's just say I choose the options which I know. Hmm, Olympiad, I don't know this one, but I just choose Barcelona. Leading appearance maker is Wayne Rooney. No, it's Ryan Giggs. Which footballer told me is putting a shot and trying it wide? Um, it might be, I guess, Basali, maybe, I don't know. Uh, this and this is Cristiano Ronaldo's full name. So after choosing all the options, let's just say if I do not choose an option, right? And okay, so here I have selected all the options, and we'll see that in the next quiz. So I submitted, and unfortunately, since the quiz was very tough, so I got a score of one only. Now Rupra plays the quiz. So Apollo comes from Greek and Roman. King of gods in ancient Greek mythology was Zeus. Uh, music truth. Music is, I guess, Athena. Poseidon, god of he's the god of sea. Um, how many heads does Cerberus have? He has, I guess, three heads, same as a dragon. True. Now, what if we do not choose an option like in this question? And if we try to submit the quiz, we can see that it is being handled by showing the option. We please you have to select at least one option for that question. So let's just say the answer is 7. So we submit the quiz, and okay, we got a score of 4. Now you can, as you can see, there is a countdown, and after the countdown, we get the result. So I am the winner. Sorry, Ruprav is the winner. He had a win score percent of 80, and I had a win score percent of 20, since my score was less than him. But you have to know that despite of having there might be a situation where despite of having a greater win percent score, you might end up losing the game because this game actually depicts how the actual situation works. So we have tried to make it as random as possible. So this was the main game, and now we move on to the next part.
Hello everyone, I am Rajdeep Pramanik and I want to tell you about my journey in making websites and how React changed everything. I got curious about making websites, so I started learning HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. These are the basic tools for building and styling websites. So I kept learning more and more by trying out different libraries and frameworks. I practiced by making simple games like tic-tac-toe game and stone, paper, scissors using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So before the presentation of the final game, I want to show my demo games which I have used to learn these technologies. So these are the this is the tic-tac-toe game, and you all know how to play the tic-tac-toe game. And now we can reset the game by clicking on this button, select reset game and new game. So this is one of my project, and another game I have created, which is rock paper scissor game. It is a single player game. Yeah, each player choose their moves, and the final score will be updated here. No, final score will be updated here, and if he or she wins, that will be updated here. So this helped me to understand how websites work and made me really interested in making visual parts of websites, which is called front-end development. Then I found React.js, which was a big deal for me. It's a cool tool that makes it easy to make parts of websites that change when you interact with them. I learned React by following tutorials and doing projects. Every time I wrote some code, I felt like I was getting better at each day using React to make modern websites. Now I have used React to improve the look and performance of our project. React lets us make website look great and work smoothly by using something called virtual DOM and reusable parts. So in short, uh, learning web development has been fun and I have grown a lot. React has been a big help and I am excited to keep using it to make even better websites. So that's all from my part. Thanks. Hey everyone, I am really excited to talk to you about what I have been up to in our game theory project. I am Ruprab and my main job has been making sure everything runs smoothly in the background. So imagine our project is like a big show with lots of moving parts. My job is kind of like being the guy who makes sure the music plays at the right time and everyone's is in sync. Now let's talk about something important, WebSockets. Normally how when your phone sends a message, it's like sending a letter. You write it, send it, wait for a reply, and then do it all over again. Well, WebSockets are more like real time chat. It's like having a conversation on your phone where you can talk and listen whenever you want. This is super important for our project, especially when we are playing games together. Like you can see multiple users connecting to the server here, and a big part of my job has been setting up looking for WebSockets. It's like about keeping things lively and interactive for everyone involved. Mm, this is a good image to show that a client and server connection between WebSocket, which is a bidirectional connection. Normally, servers are client requested and server looks at the request and send response, but in WebSocket it is bidirectional and things happen simultaneously and the connection is always open. Basically my goal is to make complicated stuff seem easy. There's a lot of technical stuff going on behind the scene, but what matters most is that our project works like a charm and makes everyone happy. I'm going to show a demo of the game and serve mechanics real quick. So this is the uh, entry page of our game, which Rishabh has already shown. And I join room attacker, and in the back end you can see that there is a player joined in set one. This is the ID of the user, and simultaneously I will join from another user using the same room ID. We have to first join the room actually, and I think and this shows that there are two users in the same set. This shows that there are two players in the same room, and the game continues. You have to select a quiz, and the quiz appears, and the same for the attacker too. You have to select option and select a quiz, geography, I don't know. I am randomly selecting option just to show you the mechanics. I am not worried about score. This is send submit quiz, and the score is 1. It first updates in backend and then it is sent to the front end, and same for this guy too. And I've submitted, and the countdown appears both sides, and both have scored 1. Sorry, lost score is 50%. Both the users have lost actually. So at 50%, no one wins. Actually, both have attacked and both have lost. No one wins. There is no tie here. Sorry for not handling the case.
And this is pretty much it from my side.